India need to keep all its delivery systems well oiled and fighting fit from the panchayat level up to the central government. These are some of the recommendations made by Sri C.V. Anandabose IAS, the National One-Man Commission for Labour. He is also proposing many more recommendations in the pandemic management of the country. Now, we will hear the words of Sri C.V. Anandabose.
COVID 19 has made its unwelcome second coming, throwing the nation to a precarious state where the civil society found itself baffled and overawed for the task ahead. The public health emergency has gripped the nation, and we have to face the situation upfront. India has to keep all its delivery systems well oiled and fighting fit. What the nation needs is action, not an alibi for inaction. The Prime Minister knows it very well, and he has kept the nation also battle ready. First and foremost is a national realization that there is an emergency of an unprecedented nature, and there is a resolve to fight it out with single-mindedness of purpose. Some of the immediate options before the nation are here. Implement an action plan to meet the public health emergency. Take the state governments and other stakeholders in confidence before implementing the emergency protocol. All decisions of the National High Power Committee, headed by the Prime Minister, on COVID control should be implemented by all concerned in letter and spirit. Invoke the compulsive license provision of the Patent Act and authorize Indian pharma companies to produce vaccine under the patent of any organization in the world. Example, Israel has done it in respect of Lopinavir and Ritonavir. India has also done it in 2012 when the Natco Pharma was permitted to manufacture the drugs meant for treatment of liver and kidney, patented by Bayer and sold for a whopping 2.8 lakh rupees for a monthly dose. Natco could sell it for just 9,000 rupees. Place firm order with the global manufacturers of the vaccine for the supply of vaccine on time. Permit the use of any vaccine approved by the regulators of the country of its manufacture, in India too, without further approvals as an emergency measure. Draw up a foolproof delivery mechanism for the distribution of the vaccine to the states and further down the line. The center, of course, may and should keep 15% of the vaccine as a reserve to meet exigencies, if any. The Panchayat Raj institutions should be empowered to take care of the pandemic management within their respective jurisdiction. To mitigate sufferings on account of the lack of bed and other facilities in the hospitals, hotels, schools, hostels, and other residential facilities should be turned into emergency healthcare centers under appropriate supervision. Retired doctors and health workers may be re-employed on attractive terms and added to the pool of medical staff now available. Wherever needed, wayside health amenity centers may be opened by the district administration at their discretion as temporary relief camp. Mobile intensive care units may be introduced to bring immediate relief to those who do not get hospital admission. Procure and distribute oxygen from wherever it is available in the world and equip the hospitals to meet any situation. Deploy adequate number of mobile mortuaries as well. In the coastal belt, ships may be requisitioned and converted as COVID hospitals if need be. The pandemic year may be treated as 0 year or blanked out year so that no one loses 1 year from his or her life. All hospitals and medical facilities in the country may be brought under one national network to meet the COVID crisis. Railway wagons may be turned into hospital wards wherever needed. Hospital on wheels may be commissioned to serve the needs of the inaccessible and difficult areas of the country. Paramilitary forces may be deputed for relief and regulatory operations wherever needed. Retired police officers and ex-servicemen may be engaged to assist in policing and regulation of the COVID emergency protocol. Student police, NCC, women volunteers, self-help groups, and civil society organizations may be encouraged to undertake prevention, relief, and rehabilitation operations within their local areas. An assured basic income may be provided through direct transfer to the poor and the needy. Understand and adopt the best practices in the world to suit the Indian context in COVID control. The examples of New Zealand, Germany, Finland, South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan are eye-openers. The media may observe strict control over the dissemination of news and views relating to the COVID combat. Sensationalism, political and sectarial bias, whipping up of anti-national sentiment, spreading fake news, and similar unhealthy practices should be avoided by the media. Aberrations and violations may be dealt with firmly in the larger interests of the nation. To assuage the sentiments of the people and take care of their basic needs in an hour of crisis, there are certain measures which are to be immediately thought of. 1. Declare India a hunger-free nation and introduce 1 meal a day scheme to take care of those below the poverty line. Provide an overdraft facility of rupees 5,000 for the BPL, overdraft, not grant. Increase activities like construction, which will ensure employment and income to the millions. Continuous education should be given to the individual, the family, and society on the COVID prevention and management measures, and overarching legislation which gives special and effective power to the government, combining the provisions of the Epidemic Diseases Act, Indian Penal Code, and other similar legislations may be put in place to empower government to deal with the public health emergency effectively. Considering the urgency of the situation, an appropriate ordinance may be brought out in the matter. Strict guidelines to be issued and implemented in respect of social distancing, breaking the chain, and flattening the curve. Helicopter services to be stepped up to bring immediate relief and care to those in distress, especially in the difficult areas. Much ahead of the outbreak of the second wave of COVID-19, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had written to the chief ministers to follow a 5-point agenda to ward off or contain the second strike through micro-containment zones and proactive measures. The Prime Minister knew very well to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Therefore, this 5-point formula to the states to foresee and forearm. Panic is worse than the pandemic, and certain remedies in the media are worse than the malady. India will face this crisis as one nation. India's greatest strength is the inner strength of the common man. We do not want a fallen or a prostrate India. We want an India which is ready to live so that humanity may not die. India is awake. India is ready. India is ready for every one of its citizens. Jhanda uncha rahe hamara. Bharat Mata ki jai. Vande Mataram.